No. Get that. Yep. Yeah. What was yesterday? Yesterday we were doing some dreadful crimes DLC. One left. The part of the map that we have unlocked. And there are a few other missions, like Vox Populi, Karl Marx, yeah. One main mission, research and development. Actually, there are 5 level, 6 level. Doesn't much matter. Oh, we can go to the train and jump out of the train. Yeah. So let's do this. Let's start from the dreadful crimes.
A letter. For me?
That is actually a big.
Good day to you.
What's wrong with the textures? This is actually big question mark. What am I supposed to do? I'm hearing all the time like there is some kind of letter, but I have no clue.
The investigation of the template networks continues.
$14,000. What? Rook enforcers? Poison the wall and make everything much easier. Yeah, let's go with Rook enforcers. Why not? Rook raiders or poison the wall? Poison the wall, obviously. Dual blades, nothing but faulty weapons shipment arrive at the Blighter stronghold. Not so much of a threat now. They are they? Yeah. I guess they've never been such threat, but let's yeah.
Don't you have a nicer outfit than that?
Yeah, jump! What are you waiting for? Oh, come on. Seriously? Wow. We missed it so badly. Kinda coward. Yeah, Jacob, you heard me good. Let's change you to Evie, because she's like more agile.
This next bit's mine.
Definitely. Then inventory changes. Capes probably just like bug, yeah. It's always pinging them that they are new, but they are not. Yes, I wanted to check. Something that we can buy for her. Maybe, yeah, regenerate health. That's like, universal, always good. Okay, let's see. The mystery of the twice dead professor. Solve the mystery of the professor who, once buried, returned to die in his parlor.
Here's an especially exciting one. perfect for a penny dreadful.
A famous professor dies twice.
That's once more than usual. Twice as many sales. My name will soon be known across the nation.
Being so.
Walk on, stupid nag.
I read this because I'm not sure if I was muted. Yeah, something is happening with my mic. Interrogate that guy. Yeah. Being
It's
hey.
so very awful. The professor died of an heart attack just days ago. Then tonight, I hear pounding at the door. I open it to find him bleeding and in pain. He tried to...
The dialogue was cut.
He kept repeating, Barkesso, Barkesso, over and over. What does it mean?
Okay, so I
It's
don't know.
so very awful. The professor died of an heart attack just days ago. Then tonight, I hear pounding at the door. I open it to find him bleeding and in pain. He tried to say something, then collapsed dead. Again.
Being
It's unthinkable. Such a great man. We were still in mourning from the burial. He was buried yesterday in the family plot.
personal letter. My dearest love, I do not understand your father's antipathy towards me. I fear that he will take steps to disrupt our engagement. Please obtain his assurance that no matter if you marry me or no, he will render you your due when the time comes. Your betrothed, Virginia. Sculpture. An intricately carved sculpture, evidently of African origin. There is a small recess where something could have been hidden. Okay. Doesn't give me anything right now. Whoa, the spider, a target, large, distinctive spider curled up in death. Crate, an open wooden crate shipped from within London. This is remarked to be opened only by Professor Bing
Now that
personally.
I've seen this, I should ask more questions.
Okay, so spider came out from this place, I guess. Letter from colleague. Esteemed Professor Bing, my research trip has been a great success. I have been able to verify personally several of the unusual customs that you chronicled in your brilliant book. Once again, I'm humbled by your genius.
Now that
Professor
I've seen
Silas.
this, I should ask more questions.
Legal letter. A recent letter to Professor Bing from his attorney. My dear Bing, I can certainly amend your will to discourage the marriage of your son with the young lady in question. An annual allowance that will be suspended in the event of such a marriage should serve the purpose if, as you suspect, she is driven by love of money. Such a provision should considerably dampen her ardor for your son.
Now that I've seen this, I should ask more questions.
Spider.
Spider? Let's get that out of here. Emmett is definitely afraid of spiders. He
Right.
got that a few days ago. Inside was a statue. I thought it was a marvel, but he told me it was quite common. I don't know who sent it.
Okay, so there was a statue and a spider. Maybe behind the statue was a spider. Great.
My father was an eminent anthropologist and something of an explorer. He made his name by investigating the practices of a small village in the Congo. His colleagues at the university often sent him trinkets from abroad.
Will?
This is no time to talk about the will. It is true that my father and my fiancée didn't get on, but I'm confident that once he got to know her as a daughter-in-law, they would have become friends.
Cemetery and university, let's go there. Is it like far away? Yeah, kinda.
Whoa there!
Who's found 0 of 8 and 0 of 3, the suspect's number. Receipt. Suspiciously nondescript receipt for 7 pounds. 7 pounds, wow. Okay, handkerchief. A lace handkerchief with red embroidery. Major cemetery. I wasn't in cemetery yet, so how do we know it? Wait.
A
Pink.
lovely man, and quite wealthy. I only wish he had lived to bless my alliance with his son.
Will?
I'm sorry to hear about that. Do you know whether that change was actually made? I hoped you wouldn't find that. I'm afraid several of the faculty purchase cadavers for research purposes. It's a fact of university life.
Sorry. Treatise by Professor Wilson on the topic of an unusual Bolivian spider. One passage notes that the venom produces a state resembling death, and that some Andean tribes use the venom during the rite of passage, in which initiated boys experience a symbolic death lasting 2 or 3 days.
I should return and find out about this.
What? Small box, an empty book labeled Arcanic Padectus.
Now that I've seen this, I should ask more questions.
Spider illustration. Illustration of spider resembling the dead spider found in Bing home. A note describes it as a rare spider found in Bolivia whose venom is a strong tranquilizer.
An eminent colleague. He wrote prolifically. Probably no one will ever amass the amount of knowledge he acquired.
Empty bags.
I'm most vexed about that. A rare specimen of the sort I've been studying for years. It escaped a few days ago, no doubt due to that scatterbrained assistant Virginia.
About
My
spider.
thesis subject. My South American colleagues tell me that this particular arachnid is only found in the Bolivian Andes. Fascinating subject.
Table. Pedestal, sorry. A pedestal with nothing on it. However, on the descriptive level it's written Pegasus Tribals, a jackal. Bookcase, a well-stocked library of anthropological books, and a significant number of them are by Professor Bing, all well thumbed. Book written by Professor Bing, the intrigue customs of deepest Africa, an entire chapter is torn
Now
from
that I've
it.
seen this, I should ask more questions.
The anthropological sciences have lost a great mind. He revolutionized the field. It is my fond hope that I may inherit his mantle.
Being the
Which
book.
one is that? Sorry, difficult to read. I've lost my spectacles somewhere.
Travels.
I recently traveled to Africa in order to continue studies on the indigenous tribe Professor Bing discovered some time ago.
Clues, 4 clues, let's go. Gravedigger's coat, an old worn crown. One pocket contains a crumpled note. Here's the sum agreed upon for last night's transaction. Huh? Bing family vault. The lock is broken. The door is ajar. Professor Bing casket is
Now
empty.
that I've heard this, I should ask the others some questions.
Money, 7 pounds sterling.
I wonder
Cool.
if someone could tell me more about this.
Okay, 7 pounds. Can find the fourth location of the clue. Where is the fourth clue? Let's talk. Pink.
He showed up again. First time that's happened in 35 years of grave digging.
Tomb.
I saw the sun lock the tomb myself.
Waverway.
Body snatching? That's an insult. I'd be in the slammer quick as that if I got caught.
Body snatching.
So I sell a body or two on the side. A man's gotta eat, ain't he? I broke the lock and left him on a barrow just behind his tomb. It was dark, couldn't really see. But some fella come by and carted the old professor off. It's muddy back there. You can nightly still see the tracks.
Money.
It's plain that 7 guineas is a lot for a bloke like me. I'm careful with me pennies and save for a rainy day.
Clues found. 3 out of 4. Where's the last one? Here is something. Handkerchief, a lace handkerchief with red embroidery. So what, we're going through with a trail. Yes, why not? Why not? Ashes, a small pile of coal ashes giving off a perfume odor. Oh. Tools include a saw and a small hammer. The saw is bloody. Was there like this? No, it doesn't match. A single page torn from a book on the Bagasu tribe. It describes ceremonial rituals involving sacred mask, incense, and chanting. Mask, a wooden carved mask of a jackal. Missing chapter. Ripped chapter. Entire chapter ripped from Professor Bin book. The intriguing customs of deepest Africa. The chapter describes an ancient custom whereby members of the Bagasu tribe ceremonially ingest the living brains of respected elders in order to obtain the knowledge of that elder. Wow. Standard eyeglasses are broken into. Okay, close 6 out of 6. There's still one thing to talk about at the university. Not sure if you missed it or it was updated because it was all along white. Looked like we missed it, but doesn't matter though.
Yes, that's mine. I misplaced a similar one, possibly at the funeral. I was so upset.
I'm back. Just check something, and here's like okay, sorry. Bank notes that they were still in mourning when this occurred, while further notes that Bank was buried yesterday in the family vault. Great. Notes that his father made his name by investigating the practice of a small village in the Congo. Conjectures that the crate was sent by one of his father's university colleagues. Well, consider that his father and his fiancée didn't get along. Angela, housekeeper. It states that Professor had in fact died of a heart attack a few days ago. Nevertheless, this night she heard someone at the door and opened it to find Professor Bellon bleeding profusely. He attempted to say something and then collapsed dead. Last word states that Professor Bing kept repeating Bakeso, don't know the meaning. Great, claims the crate arrived a few days ago with a statue inside. Claims not to know who sent it. Spiders. States the person being sent Emmett is deadly afraid of spiders. Okay, Gravedigger expressed surprise that Bing showed up alive. Gravedigger scoffs at the notion that he sells dead bodies. Knows that he would soon be in jail if he did. Money concedes that £7 is a lot of money for a Gravedigger to have in cash. Claims he is simply thrifty. Tomb. Claims he saw Emmett Bing lock the tomb. I'm not sure if I'm gonna sneeze or what. I kinda want it. Sorry. Body snatching proven when confronted admits that he doesn't sell bodies. He does sell bodies. Well, okay, but when confronted admits that he does sell bodies. States that he broke the lock and left a wheelbarrow just behind his home. Couldn't see properly at night, but claims a man took Bing away in the wheelbarrow. States that due to the mud, I might be able to see the tracks. Virginia. Notes that Bing was quite wealthy. Goes on to express regret that Bing will not be there to bless her marriage to his son. Handkerchief. Claims the handkerchief as hers. Notes that she lost a matching handkerchief, possibly at a cemetery. Expresses embarrassment that I had found a receipt for £7. Admit that some of the faculty purchased cadavers for research purpose. Well, it's sorry to hear about Bing's attempt to alter his will in an effort to prevent her marriage to his son. Inquires whether a change actually was made. Dr. Wilson, arachnologist. Bing speaks highly of Professor Bing, knows that it's unlikely that anyone will ever master the amount of knowledge that Bing acquired. Empty bags. Express anger about the empty bag, says that it housed a rare spider which he has studied for years. Notes that the spider escaped a few days ago and blames the university assistant, Virginia. Spider declares that the spider was his thesis subject, knows that his South American colleague informed him that the spider is only found in Bolivia, and Professor Silas, anthropologist, laments the loss of anthropologists of such a great mind, hopes to inherit the mantle of Professor Link. Apologizes for difficult in reading the book title. It seems that he's lost his spectacles. Travels. Says that he recently traveled to Africa to continue Professor Bing's studies concerning an ingenious tribe. To be honest, with this, I have no idea. Okay, so there's a dust spider. There we have an archaeologist and an arachnologist, whatever. Professor Bing's bad. Okay, there is a deep cut to the forehead that appears to be surgical. The cut goes into the skull itself. Okay, what? Okay, the spider was an accident, that's my guess. And with the surgical cut, it's like someone who bought the body thought he was dead and cut him, and then he woke up and like died. My dearest love, I do not understand your father's antipathy towards me. I fear that he will take steps to disrupt our engagement. Please obtain his assurance that no matter if you marry me or not, he will render your due when the time comes. Doesn't sound like she wants to kill him. My dear Bing, I can certainly amend your will to discourage the marriage of your son with the young lady in question. An annual allowance that will be suspended in the event of such a marriage should serve the purpose. If such suspect she is driven by love of money, such a provision should considerably dampen her ardor for your son. Esteemed Professor Bing, my research trip has been a great success. I have been able to verify personally several of the unusual customs that you chronicle in your brilliant book. Once again, I am humbled by your genius. The lock is broken, the door is ajar. Professor Bing's casket is empty. Grave digger's coat, an old worn coat. One pocket contains a crownful note. Here's the sum agreed upon for last night's transaction. Okay, there are standard eyeglasses broken into a single page shown from a book, The Beggar's Tribe. It describes ceremonial rituals involving sacred mass, incense, and chanting. To be honest, no idea. I have two suspects. Anthropologist Professor Silas and Gina. Why? Don't ask me why. Virginia. Okay, let's see.
He was a stubborn old coot, but I wouldn't murder anyone.
See? Yeah, that was my rogue. Dr. Wilson? No. Yeah, more like him.
I required his knowledge in order to become the greatest anthropologist in the British Empire, and his beloved tribe of savages provided the method.
That
What's
Professor
weird though?
Silas was particularly cunning and gruesome. Mr. Raymond will be thrilled.
The esteemed Professor Bank was the victim of a diabolical plot confected by his colleagues and erstwhile colleague, Professor Silas. Using a powerful spider venom, Silas put his mentor into a deep coma. He went so far as to attempt to eat Bink's brain in an effort to ingest his knowledge. All this was inspired by the very African tribe Professor Bink had himself discovered. No doubt Silas' mind was unbalanced, as he believed he would surpass all anthropologists by absorbing his mentor, cerebrum. Rest in peace, Professor Bink. The Royal Anthropological Society mourns your passing. Henry Raymond.